The main thing is just getting a plan.
Yeah.
That is the number one thing, because if you do not have a plan, you don't know where to go.
All right, we just got done walking this house. We started from the outside, we went to the basement. You know our numbers, but this is the man who's going to execute on the numbers and the rehab. So this is Steven Roque.
Roque? Yeah.
Roque. I've worked with him for 4 years, still don't know how to say his name. That's okay,
That's
right?
okay, that's okay. You can call me The Rock, I just need the
The
muscles.
Rock, all right. So you're with Momentum Construction, you're a general contractor.
Yeah.
And you've done what, 4 or 5 or 6, well actually more than that, probably 10 or 15 houses so far for me?
I think between the 10 and the 15 all the way this year.
Awesome.
Including everything, yeah.
Awesome. So this house, we kind of went through the general budget, but what I want to talk to you about is, as you work with like an investor like me or a homeowner, let's just kind of walk through the steps and the things that you're looking at. So maybe what would be the number one from your perspective to start out with? What are you trying to understand at first?
The first thing I'm trying to do is determine what the bearing walls are going to be.
Okay.
Because that will give you the idea of like, okay, we can move these walls, we can move it, we have to play with this layout. So the first thing is like determine the bearing walls in the house, and then determine the windows.
Yeah.
Because I need to know, okay, if I'm going to put a bathroom here or I'm going to put a bedroom.
Yeah. And all of that kind of starts with like the vision and the scope of work for what the project would look like,
Exactly.
right? So then working with you a lot in the past, normally then what you'll come in and do is actually get proper measurements so that we can get like a 2D floor plan view,
Exactly.
right? And then our process, especially on something like this where we're not 100% sure what the layout's going to be, this is our second or third time walking through this,
Yeah.
right? And it's taken a couple times to get a better vision of what we're going to end up with, right? And then what's your process to determine like what it's all going to cost?
So barely, or like initially, I just came in and I just get measurements, and then I started breaking the scope of work based on just the square footage.
Yep.
Like I give you an allowance and tell you, hey, you should just go with $4 a square feet or $5 a square foot in the tile, but that's just general idea.
Yeah.
I just go off of myself of the measurements. And that's how I get like how much the breakdown will be, and then I give you an allowance how much extra or less could take based on your selections.
Yeah.
But the initial step after I get all of that done and we're set, after taking the measurements, I take the city. And especially here, since this is the avenues, we are dealing now with something called a historic landmark district.
Yeah.
Which they are very, very particular about the exterior of the house, because they want to maintain the contemporary looking of the house.
But back up just for a minute. How do you know like what a price per square foot of carpet's going to be, or paint, or doors and moldings and trim? Like how does that measurements in the floor plan help you estimate quickly what it's all going to cost?
It's because of all these years we have recapped so much information about.
So it's what? Each job keeping very detailed track
Exactly.
of how much it costs based on what scope of work, what size. And this is a hard thing for some flippers because it's so easy to move quick and not make good records and notes. But the better you track everything, it's like in life, right? The more you track your budget, the better you'll have an idea of what you spend or not spend or what you need to eliminate. But the more that we track, like how many square yards, what is the price per square foot, the square yard of carpet, what is a square on a roof cost, how many squares is the roof, what is the usual price for a linear foot of cabinets, right? Like by you having those measurements in there, that gives us a really high degree of confidence of what this house is going to price out at based off of past experiences. And then the game isn't it like, okay, which contractors were our best ones?
Exactly.
Do we switch the window guy in this one, or do we have confidence in him?
Okay.
And then planning ahead too helps us, do what? Like by planning ahead, like we haven't closed on this one and we're already about a week into the work on it, right?
Yeah, so
what's the goal when you're working with a flipper, knowing that we're trying to get in and out quick and you're trying to do it quick?
Yeah.
What are some of the other steps that we need to do to work together before we start even demoing ideally?
So the main thing is just getting a plan.
Yeah.
That is the number one thing, because if you do not have a plan, you don't know where to go.
Right.
Let's say that we get, we're gonna remove the bearing walls and then we're gonna figure that out later, but at the end of the day, we just made a mistake and now we have to redo it again. So the initial phases on between the 2 or 3 weeks is just making a game plan, and know exactly what we're gonna do.
How productive is it if we're not doing that and every 3 days we're meeting up here to re-talk about, is this where we put the bathroom?
Yeah.
Or what tile did we pick out?
Yeah.
What could be a 3-month project turns into a 7-month project really quick. So in combination with not just the floor plan, the other thing that I'm assuming is helpful for you is to have like a full design like
package.
vision board, like this is the color of the carpet, this is the tile, this is the cabinets, and then also laying out your team of like, these are our go-tos for cabinets. This is, and then we also got to have like backups for those in case we get busy, right?
Yeah, we have what's called an A team, and we usually use those like from the get-go. If we are freed up, we use the A team, and the A team just means like the best guy for the best trade that they can possibly make, right?
Yeah.
And then if they cannot do it because they get busy some more time, so we have those B, which are the backups.
Yep.
It's not B them because of they're bad.
The quality, right? Yeah.
The backups. So we have those guys in case that, you know, if we are having 6 houses in a row, we have the A team on the initial house, but then we have to do some touch-ups, we bring the B team.
Yeah. So it's if I'm understanding our conversation, it's really beginning with the end in mind.
Yeah.
What we think we're going to be building, remodeling, getting to, reverse engineering it, figuring out what the plan looks like, the floor plan, who's going to execute it, and what we're going to execute it with, what products, materials, style, and design. And then my experience, especially as we've gotten a little bit better about this, is what could turn into a 7-month project narrows down to like 3 or 4. And the stress that you have of not having clarity and confidence of what direction you're headed is eliminated.
Exactly.
Because we know the plan up front. Now, things change all the time. We may open a wall and it'd be like, crap, we were going to have that door here, but now we need to move it here. But those are quick adjustments, right? And then it allows you to have the autonomy of running with it and not unnecessarily needing to check in all the time about what we're doing. You're competent, I'm competent, you can move quick. And then you and I usually meet like once a week for 30 minutes or an hour?
I would think once a week in the initial stage. After drywall, I would think once every 10 days, even 2 weeks. Because after drywall, all the layouts in, all the selections are made, so people just roll it.
Yeah, and then that allows me as a flipper to be able to do more houses with less time. It gives you way more opportunities. But it also helps us build out a better A, B, and C team so that we can do 6 or 7 houses or 8 houses just as efficiently as one.
Exactly.
Right? Because everyone then understands our process. And then from my point of view, when I have really, really good people working on it, like Esteban and Momentum, my job then is to provide that vision, but then pay them every week on time so that you can pay your guys, so that we don't lose the good people. And that we don't waste their time. If we have a clear plan, they know what they need to do, when they need to do it, and come in and knock it out. They're not coming in here, setting up and being like, wasting time. What are we doing here?
Yeah,
we have a plan.
And that's the most important thing. You know, like in construction, people, it's a little different or the way they act. But like, let's say you don't pay them. They're just like the second, they're just gonna turn their back,
find someone else.
And they're gonna find someone else, and they're gonna get paid quickly.
Yeah, and then the other thing that, going back to just kind of wrap up this quick little video, is we're starting intentionally a couple weeks before we're closing on it, so that we can have the permit in hand the day we close before our interest starts taking on our purchase money, so that we can just run as quick as possible. So I've learned this lesson the hard way many times. That's why I've kind of partnered with Momentum to be the contractor, to do it the right way, to pull a permit. Because if we were not to permit this place, the city comes by, they're not going to kill us or take the house away from us, but it's going to delay us probably 3 or 4 months. Because they don't like it when you don't start the right way. But when we do, we then get a relationship with the inspectors. If we need a little favor here and there, they're going to give us a break because they know that we're trying to do it the right way.
And the most important thing is they have a relationship with the inspectors. Like, as soon as the inspectors see the sign, hey, Momentum is doing this house, they know for sure that we're pulling a permit, and they know that we're closing.
And they don't give us crap. We can move quick. They're easier with inspections.
Exactly. And especially
and they're willing to help out when a very difficult problem arises that we didn't foresee.
Exactly.
Right? So, okay, this is great. So, to put you on the spot, so if we're closing on this one next week.
So let's call it November 1st.
Let's call it November 1st. What's our ETA from start to finish on this one?
So this is the way I like to think it too. So a remodel takes 8 weeks, like a full-size remodel takes 8 weeks to get to the 4-way. That's our standard right now. We're trying to hit it better, and then another 8 weeks to finish. But then we have holidays, we have Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. That will push us a week and a half where it's gonna be dead.
People are dead, right?
Yeah.
Plus you need to give people time off. So we're thinking about a 4-month.
If you're thinking about 4 months and a half
Okay.
to 5 months and a half.
So that's our goal. We want to be done in 4.5 months,
Mhm.
which would put us at November, December, January, February. That will be perfect time for this house to list this thing in March.
Whoa.
We can do all the work during the ugly parts of the winter,
Yeah,
make sure we
exactly.
get the heat on here so we won't freeze. But anyway, so we're going to follow up with this video in March
In March,
and see how we did. Maybe we'll do some progress videos along the
Yeah.
way. So
maybe a little earlier.
let's go get it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey.
thanks for watching.